Good evening, and welcome to the show. I'm Francis Ziasot of the Liberia Public Radio. Good evening. Welcome to the show. There you have it. Good evening. So, I want to welcome our viewers and listeners across to the globe. Our Prontons viewers, listeners, thank you so much for your commitment. I'm Alfonso Z, and so Breakable is in the house. Tita Nemo is marching in. Mr. Chroma is here. Clarence Davis, Samusa, Madam Joyce. Thank you so much for joining us. This is the Diaspora Informative News Outlet Liberia Public Radio, 10 Lpr-Tv. It's Augustine. Good to have you here, Isaac. Jalad and Original. If this is the first time we say you are wholeheartedly welcome. You are on the official news outlet of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. TGIF, thank God it's Friday. Thank God to you. Hopefully you are doing great and well. We want to welcome you. Just hit the share button. We are also live on the Facebook, of course, where you are, and YouTube and LinkedIn, all of the major social news outlets. Welcome to the show. And just tell someone, always drop your comment. Tell us if this is the first time, and we can also give you that rare copy of welcome. Here come my cousin right there from Des Moines, Iowa. Mr. Tyre, good evening. Good afternoon. Quite a little while. Tampa is marching on. This is the Diaspora Informative News Outlet Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. Today is Friday, a lot is unfolding, and we're going to decide, we're going to have those conversations. And of course, as you know, the ultimate goal of this network is not to leave you behind in the national conversations of our country and beyond. So we also make news fair, balanced, and proportional to go back to all of the things happening. Welcome, Mr. Rule from Minneapolis, Minnesota, great community tie organizer. I don't know whether the man retired now, we know. But anyway, we found time to talk that one day. You need to come on and tell her where you are now. Whether you hang over, you hang the Jesse now, because there are some old folks who still refuse to retire. We're going to be doing all of that. Vera is in the house. Cecilia Faulkner, good evening. Good to have you here. Welcome to the show. And here come Mark McCarthy Johnson. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, good Friday. Hopefully, everyone doing well. My understanding that they gave a lot of crazy races and people are making good money now. So now we're going to be asking for money. Welcome to the show. Sherry is in the house. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners. Let's get a ball rolling right here. I am your host and presenter, Alfonso Z, and so right here from the Diaspora Informative News Magazine, New England Bureau, that's the Liberia Public Radio, right here in the ocean state of Rhode Island. Good afternoon, good morning, good to have you here this Friday. Hope all is well with you. And I get as much as good money for the weekend. Events all over the place are over, and no exception. The Bay State of Massachusetts, we will be there for what appears to be one of the major tournament programs. That's what we do here at LPR. We allow people to tell their real-time life story, not just only politicians. We prioritize the ordinary Liberian. They have a lot of success stories. There is a need that they tell their stories. And this is where we will be going tomorrow. There will be a major honoring program of Mrs. Martha Dennis. The Liberia Public Radio is being hired to bring you live happening. This is what we do. But you don't listen to me. You listen to the liberal on this network, more or less. Clarence Davis is now entrenched with the liberal ideology. I'm not sure where my man Chroma is, but Clarence the Lpr is carrying out a massive recruitment on this network. But all roads lead to Worcester, to Massachusetts, in a special I brave the 76th birth anniversary and honoring of Mrs. Martha Dennis. Diaspora Informative News Magazine, Liberia Public Radio. I will be right in that channel later on tomorrow. I want to bring you live happening. My understanding, all the wave in Rhode Island and neighboring Massachusetts off the market. It won't be easy. The green, the purple, the white, the colors that we have not seen for a long time. Not to mention eyelashes gone off. So it looked like who can run, run. Who can run, stay. You know, the sun, you know, it's a beautiful weather, right? So by this time tomorrow, I glued to the Diaspora Informative News outlet. We will capture fascinating images in that. The hater then, as I understand, my man was talking, giving somebody a ride, and the lady put her hair tie. She already fixed it. I don't know whether it was imported, what happened, what not happened. She put it in the back to the back mirror, and the guy couldn't even see from the rear. So they have to tell to enter, please put that Lpr-Tv hair tie down because I can't even see it to the front and back. So it's not going to be easy. Bamboo going to divide colors. And that's what happens when you work too. Sometimes you have to have those fun. So I want to welcome you this evening. I'm Francis, and so very shortly the analysts going to be here. And even if they are not here, we have the capacity to create a conversation with you. I don't really, these guys, the Lpr in collaboration with his man Jerry Bacon, they are carrying on a massive recruitment on this network, making this network kind of getting to be infested with the Boasians. Just get me right, we are not against, but the Lpr is promoting his ideology. He managed to get Jerry Bacon. We heard, and I'm now being told, Sissy Goya is moving in the directions of the Lpr. That is concerning. It's the second time appearing on the state radio, and I've been monitoring that. His tone, his language is getting to be moderate, is changing since the broom fell apart, and they talk about Unkoto Jalat Balayant. All this is the work of the Lpr progressive of this network. We'll do everything possible to stand for what we believe to be the truth, to counter them because they want to impose their way. This is a guy who doesn't allow people to call on his program because he wants it his way. He doesn't want you to speak your mind, to talk about your country. Welcome to the show. Okay, so that's right there. All roads heading to neighboring Massachusetts in honor of Mrs. Martha Dennis. And this is what I told you. You guys, just let us know when you're having a great event, you're having your day, be it a wedding anniversary, a graduation. Let us know. We're going to bring that as well. We need to allow people to tell their success story and not just own it. To prioritize the politicians, because these people, what do? Yam, 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 talk, no actions, and give all of the excuses that you think about. But yet then still, for those of you who made your choice, which is okay, you allow them to do the things that we want to do, and you come back here, you come and cry with us. So I think we need to be testing some of the tears that are coming out now. Those crocodile tears, we need to test in and which one is authentic, which one is real. Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Listen to this announcement. Oh yes, my mouth is watering. Worcester City, Massachusetts, this Saturday lights off in what appears to be the biggest events and celebrations of the year. Now listen to the lines of the 76th birth anniversary, honoring 10 celebrations of Mrs. Martha Dennis is expected to unleash on the big city of Worcester County this weekend. We will be there. Liberia Public Radio has been invited to bring you live happenings right before your very eyes to grace the occasions. Tune in, follow us live on Lpr to watch the hard def camera to our pageantry to the already packed event. New England sensational DJ Archivon from the ocean state of Rhode Island with 10,000 kilowatt speaker will be there to blast you up. Be there, cause I will be there. It is the biggest event in the best city of Worcester County, Massachusetts. And that was the Good evening. Welcome. I'm Alfonso Z and Sort of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. Time check here in the East Coast is 8:15 Eastern Standard Time. Beautiful evening here. He's here. He is the new recruiter of this network. He getting all his guys. He took Sister Goya. He took Koto Jalabalayan. I'm hearing Terry, the bishop of this network, is also to be following suit. Thus leaving Marley Jones, Dr. Marley Jones and myself as the only independent. Clarence Davis and the rest of the folks, command, they are all in support. Fatu, they are all in support of what the Labour is doing. So guys, we got to stand and take back our network. Other than that, it will be infested with liberals' idea, not allowing other people to have their way. So let me see here. The Liberal is here. Let me give him the day to vindicate himself in this national conversation. So welcome to the show. Let's have a conversation. Let me bring in the Liberal Progressive of the Liberia Public Radio. He is a strong supporter of President Joseph Numa Boyka, the guy who likes the well, I don't know that a light or generator, police car, or whatever it is today. I learned something towards on the robocall in Liberia prior to the president dedications or launching this. If you're drinking water, you better get 5 gallon and get aside because enough is. I am not going to hold back on you, on your man Jerry Boashian Boykai, and that assistant lawyer. Koto all gone. This is quite interesting. The Liberal, good evening, welcome.
Good evening, Mr. So. Thank you for having us again tonight.
You seem to be really pushing your agenda. I don't know why people are pivoting, but let's take on a big scale here. Let's discuss. You know, this network, we do not narrow our conversations. We also take on national issues the little we know and just talk about it as well. But Radio France is reporting that Paul Kagame of Rwanda, the guy is in his 4th term, man. Come on. Is that healthy?
Well, he won that.
Why is he not preparing to the next generation? How many years can this guy continue? Yes, things are happening, but that's a little bit what? Let me get your take.
Well, he won 99% of the vote, but there's a difference between those type of leadership and that of President Baka leadership. I think
what Baka got to do with Paul Kagame of Rwanda?
Please, I'm speaking about my president. And what do you mean? What you got to do? It got everything to do with it.
So he no. Let's get it right. This is how you guys raise alligator.
Mr. So, you're not going to tell me how to answer your question.
Yeah, I want to give you a chance. But I ask you a specific question, and you are
answering the question, Mr. So. I said he won 99% of the vote. And this is the difference between President Buckeye and those type of leadership. In that, this man has been in power for so long. And he's been doing some good things for Rwanda, which is okay. But perhaps because of that type of good thing that he's doing, he considers himself the only person that can do the good thing. That is the difference. Mr. So, the liberal is on the floor on this
what is the difference? Boycott for 44, 5, 6 years. You guys brought him back. You want to.
Let me let you know that I am a celebrity right now. I want you to know this. This is not your sense into LPR liberal. I am higher than that now. So if you're going to be questioning me, you have to make sure you do it with some sort of a stand. So please let the liberal speak. Thank you. The difference here is these people, while we do not have evidence of corrupt behavior and what have you, but they tend to cling to power, because they believe they are the only people and the only person in their country that perhaps can do these kinds of good things for their country. And whereas President Buckeye is training young people.
Where are they? Where are they?
Buckeye, he's leading. Mr. So, please, will you let me finish my point? I mean, when I'm a big time celebrity right now. I can't fight with you anymore. Well, that's not gonna help my image. Let's put it this way. So the point here is this: President Buckeye is teaching and training young leaders. That's the difference. In 6 years, President Buckeye is going to decide as to whether he wants to seek re-election or he's going to give way to whatever young people he has. His vice president, President Buckeye, vice president for the 6 years old. Here in America, they're trying their best to bring in wheelbarrow.
You are one of the insider, or tend to be the. Hold on one second. You seem to be one of the insider. You're getting a lot of information better than we do, and I'm just hearing. Maybe he was seek. Did I hear you saying he was seeking re-election?
No, I didn't say that.
Okay.
I said, and if you want me to finish my statement, here in the United States, the great United States that we are emulate, the people are bringing wheelbarrow to wheel President Biden out of the White House.
Do they need to carry a wheelbarrow in Liberia as well?
So will you let me finish my point, please? The Democrat are bringing wheelbarrow to wheel Biden out of the White House, whereas the good president of the Republic of Liberia, the man who is there to rescue us, he's saying to the Liberian people, business will not be as usual. However, I will rescue. I need for you to help me to rescue yourself. The young people are now gravitating towards President Buckeye in droves.
In droves. Well, the conversations is bad. Okay. Thank you so much, Lebron. Hopefully you will have that tolerance. You claiming that you are celebrated, so it seems to me more or less it seems to be compromised, because people that you're hanging out with and your tone, your language has changed significantly in the last couple of days. Seem to be appearing on the state radio, which is a clear indication. It speaks to the volumes of what you're saying on this network, some of the things that comes out of you with your guy Jared Bacon. Now, Koto Jala Balayent, Sister Goyo, they are all moving here.
Let me say one thing, please, quickly. I have not seen my daughter Vera for a very long time, and I would just want to take this opportunity to welcome her back. We have not seen her very long time. I hope everything is okay and that she's doing great. And we're very happy to see you back here tonight, Vera. Thank you for joining us. Go ahead. What is your question?
that's not going to stop me from asking what I'm asking. So if you
Ask your question. Ask your question.
some sort of tactic to deflate so that I will be distracted, that's not going to
Mr.
happen.
So ask your question.
So back to the point. Okay, let's go to what the investigators are reporting. Supreme Court Justice threatening to the government shutdown over budget dispute. This whole thing here, it seems not to be going away. What is really happening? Your guy, hold on one second. Your guy is in control. Do they not have the capacity to be influential, to be persuasive, to go to both houses and get this thing done? So where all of this drama is still coming from? Shut down?
Are you ready?
Who you texting? You texting what, normally?
Mr. So I passed that stage a long time ago. So let's go back to the Supreme Court. Okay. The Supreme Court issue is a very special and dedicated one, in that the Supreme Court, the lawmakers, and the executive, they're all equal branch operating under the government of the Republic of Liberia. And the Supreme Court, because of some budgetary snafu, I will call it, they are now feeling left out. And one of the interesting things about this whole Supreme Court issue is that they see within President Bakai, the majority, they see within President Bakai, the reasonable person that, Mr. So, let me speak.
I didn't say anything.
Okay, they know within President Bakai, he's much, much more reasonable, experienced, and tolerant. And therefore, they will bring out whatever grievances they have. Even though they are co-equal branch, they could have gone out and come out with, bring out some sort of a constitutional crisis and what have you. But because of the respect President Bakai have given them, they too in return is now turning the table to President Bakai to give him that respect. As a result, they are now on this last ledge, I would say, of telling the executive, these are things that the Constitution mandate, and it's our role to interpret the Constitution. And from our standpoint, you, the executive, you, the legislature, are in violation of the Constitution. However, they say, we are not at the point of interpreting that particular Constitution yet. We're just reminding you. Mr. So,
who does the interpretation?
Excuse me?
Who does the interpretation?
Mr. So, the Supreme Court. And so, because of the respect, you're scared because Terry here now?
Oh, so that Terry you were texting? Wow. Okay, let me bring your the bishop. This is
Never didn't text me.
I
think that different person never was texting. Never was texting your co-host.
Picture bigger, make stereo myself. Pictures. You come here again. You start here. You come and move things around and start. Now you see it. Now you don't please. Don't do that gonna be. Terry, you see what you doing?
Got an Israeli. That's what they do. They got no friend.
Well, let me go back to the serious point here. So the judiciary are the people that are supposed to interpret the law. However, and this is bad, in the executive, good thing we have President Bakai at the head. The executive.
What do you mean by that?
Well, let me finish. Few months ago, they had a meeting. President Bakai called all three branches of government to have a meeting. And in that meeting, the discussion, what they have done to the judiciary is bad. And the lawmakers are spearheading that bad behavior. And President Bakai most likely going to put a stop to it. The Constitution, some provision in the Constitution states that the Supreme Court put budget together and send it to the Budget Bureau, and they're supposed to put everything together. And if they have any kinds of issue with the estimate, the Supreme Court. That's how smart these people are. They didn't say they said the estimate. And our estimate is not real until you agree with all the numbers. They say estimate. So based on they're coming back, they said, we give you guys the estimate. If you think something's wrong with it, why would you not have a discussion? In fact, they said, when we have the meeting, you told us that the Budget Bureau and other people from the legislature will come and meet with our budget technical staff.
I'm going to hold you there. We are not roller skating here because you're going to go on and go on. You're not in charge, so do not pretend as if you are in charge here. I'm not going to go with this sort of sunny red story.
You know I'm winning. That's why you want to cut me off. But go ahead, that's your show.
You will soon put your foot in your mouth. Let me welcome my mentor.
That's okay.
Collins. Good evening. Welcome.
Good evening to Liberal and Mr. So.
I'm surprised now, though. You will sit on the network. This guy, when I'm even out, he will do everything to kind of like vilify me, but you will not say anything. And then when you come,
I support you. You know, I defend you most of the time.
You what?
I defend you most of the time. Sometimes neighbor can.
Send me a message and let's turn the camera off here a little bit. He managed to take Sisse Goya. Sisse came here and said, oh, he was doing something, but he went back again yesterday. Guess who followed? And Lpr told me the next person I'm going to be following soon is Terry Collins.
No.
That happen.
If I go on that network, everything will spoil because the way they think they expect me to say, I will not say.
Are you
So
sure?
I pray they don't call me there. I don't want to go there, Mrs.
Yeah, Lpr, I don't know what
I'm not straight. The way they want me to speak, I will not speak like that sometimes. And I like where I am. I like Lpr.
Okay, good. All right, let's have a conversation. Good evening. Welcome. Happy Friday.
You see, already calling me the political bishop. I go down there now, that problem will come. So, yeah, it says call to the Liberal and says it's okay for that network. The people can take everyone off on here. Somebody got to leave to defend the network.
By the way, just to tell you, he the one suggested that name. He sent that name. If you remember, you agree with me. All the stereotype calling people US professor, this, that, LPP, this, that. Who gave this name? This is a guy. So he said he's an old man who is under the palm one tree and people can gouge themselves. He will light the fire and then he's trying to his back. But good evening, welcome to Bill, to welcome in the house and all our viewers, listeners, wherever you are, please hit the share button. We are also live on the Facebook you're watching, of course, YouTube and LinkedIn. What the problem was, what kind of basic today, right? Involving like activities. You seem to be a happy guy. We were always saying here the president doing this, we are not giving VP chance and all of that. But I'm hearing from the Liberal, the president is preparing the young generation. He might not contact. I think it is time for us to start having these conversations. Someone out there will say, oh, it's too early. No, the buildings of institutions starts from us, the early stages of things here, because I am of conviction. Most likely, what to do with statistics, I don't think the President Boyka will want to see the re-election. What is interesting to what we hit remember for in his 6 years, especially coming with the code name rescue. If I hear the word rescued, when I put it in a calabash, there are a lot of things run through my head. I'm not sure is what is happening here, but let's have a conversation here. The president, what still needs to be done? A lot of things still going on. People planning demonstration. You look on the other side, which is obvious. They will always have their own political talking point. But overall, you as a supporter, I want you to be being authentic from time to time. I like his Jerry back on everything is perfect. Everything that's how it's supposed to be. But let me hear you.
Yeah, first of all, I just want to crack a little joke. I saw some kind of post from Analysts of sedition, but the person said the president unveiled a police car with battery with generator inside. You know, they saw the president unveiling the generator for the airport, 3 different generators. So they felt and plus the police car. So they added everything together and said the president brought police car with generator inside. But anyway, I just knew that was the mentality of a sedition. But to be very honest with you, Mr. So, the president has been making some gains. He has been making some very, very mighty gains. But the politics he's trying to play with the judiciary, I don't understand it. That is where I am a little bit unstable here. You know, but
I didn't see it that way. He didn't see it that way. The liberal, he didn't see it that way. But I will let you to expand on it and then we can have a conversation.
Yeah, the judiciary is saying that they gave a budget to the finance ministry or the bureau or whatever department, the treasurer, so of $30 million or 31 million. But they cut their budget down to 17. Then when they went to the house only added 3 million on it, thereby carrying it to 20 million. So the Chief Justice rejected the budget. And the Chief Justice is threatening the government to shut down, that they're going to shut down, that they're going to resist that particular budget law, and they have the power to do that. You know, because they're saying that most of the people cannot exercise the authority all over the country. Court cannot proceed because of lack of money. Because they've made a budget, they gave it, and they said they have been.
Is that true to their argument?
Yeah, but it makes sense. What the Chief Justice is saying,
right?
And she's saying that she engaged the House when they went for the budget something. She engaged the House when the budget was a draft budget. She engaged the House. They engaged the House on several occasions. They said they were going to rectify it until the budget passed. Then they engaged the president. She told the president. The president said when he called that meeting with the three branches of government, she engaged the president. The president said he was going to look into it. In 3 weeks, they were going to solve the problem. But she said 5 weeks have elapsed, and there have been no redress. So she's threatening the government she's threatening that they will shut down. So I think she have a genuine claim. I think she have a genuine concern.
So
I don't know.
Why do you think the president is literally like saying someone paid death? And the judiciary, that's a separate branch of government. We frown on the judiciary of keeping cases on the docket, things happening, and they are not executing. It's all because of the funding. You have the law, the legislature there, they get a fat budget. You have the executive, but they want to strangulate the judiciary. And then we turn around and say that the judiciary is not working. We is a separate branch of government. Why these meetings were held, why did the president did not cut the deal to make sure that it comes to an equilibrium that, you know, all sides, but like, you know, everybody for their own. And the liberal coming here and acting like he doesn't know what is going on because he wants us to move in his direction.
Yes, I know Liberal got some concerns, and you know, Liberal now is a celebrity. You know, like what he just said. Liberal is a political guru. So as a result, Liberal is on state radio. So the people monitoring Liberal. There are certain things Liberal will not say now, but we will say it for him.
Wait and see. They were drive. They were pushing out on that place. You just wait and see. Let this July long come to an end.
The Liberal is a professional guy. But you see, Mr. So the thing is serious. And the letter I read, President Boca, if you're listening to this program, because I know you can listen to this program, please do something about it.
Do something about it. I don't want him to be his prestigious. The liberal.
Mr. So,
we try to reconstruct the crime saying here literally. I'm not saying the crime was committed by the president, but this is your own guy. He listened to his argument. Why did the president didn't cut the deal to make sure that he's intervened? Saying he's the executive. The budget goes to him, and at the end of the day, that's why.
Listen to this. At the end of the meeting, the president mandated that an upward review of the judiciary budget be done in accordance with the reference law quoted herein. And this was agreed by the legislature, of which the Speaker of the House of Representatives committed to have the Ways and Means, Finance, and Budgetary Committee of both houses meet with the technical team of the judiciary recast the judiciary budget within 2 weeks. All I can say on this, President Baka is on their side. They will make sure, and what I stated again, I will say again, when you read that comment, the Chief Justice is not saying we want 31 million or whatever they have. The money she had called for was an estimate. So they have their own technical
below.
Yeah, they could go up and come below that. That's right. But she's leaving room. And this can only be done when you have at the head of the government, the like of President Baka, who is respected on both of all sides. So because of that respect, she's leaving room to say, you guys agree to have this conversation. And it's been more than 3 weeks. And this is what she was saying. She said the Constitution mandate the judiciary to interpret the rules. And based on that Constitution, the provision of the Constitution that allowed the judiciary to spend their budget and be able to have some money, that particular provision is being violated. However, she said, we are not yet interpreting the particular. Let us work together and have this thing resolved. You can only make those kinds of comments when you have President Baka at the helm of the leadership. And President Baka knows very well that he's an institutional builder. And you cannot build institution with judiciary. These people travel all over the country. $17 million for what? And you have role. People say they're spending $22 million that we can't even see.
What you said?
You have lawmakers take $100,000 that we can't even see. So
people, hold on. People, who are those people that are spending 22
public work
under this government?
And so let us don't try to play cows and mouse game here. President Baka asked these people to do a job. And if the people
I just asked a question. I don't know why you're running ahead of your shadow. I said, on this government.
President Baka asked people to join and do
the amount in question. Is he not aware of it?
President Baka asked the people to join him, expect to join him to do the work. And they asked for a specific amount of money. The money was allotted to them, and how the money was spent will be explained later on.
Terry, is he providing a general explanation, or I'm asking for Terry's opinion. I'm not saying Terry going to put you on something. He's an analyst, Terry.
Yeah, well, Lpr spoke his mind, but again, it seems that he's walking back on his own statement. He earlier said people spend 22 million, but actually, I don't know what's wrong with this 22 million thing, because CDC had a 22 million going. It was not success. It was some kind of discrepancy. Now another 22 million within 6 months. CDC in 6 months too. Now we get to. So is there something going on?
Yes, there's a pattern here.
There's a pattern. That's why I'm trying to drive. I don't know. Is there some kind of loophole in the budgeting?
On this administration.
Will you please
explain to you people?
Are you the spokesperson? Hold on. Hold your feelings a little bit. I understand you are a diehard supporter here, but these conversations are national conversations, and others try to get a takeaway. So do not be like Jeremy Appiah. You are not Jeremy. You are not Kula Fofana. this is LPR. When you and Eugene Fagon and D-Flow, when you go on your Nightline, Liberia, or whatever, then you can tell your Tabata. But I'm asking Terry, let's Terry explain his part, and then you will come in. Terry.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Is there a loophole, that the government that leave someone out there? Is there a missing 22 million somewhere they're keeping that we don't even know? Because this is a pattern now. CDC had a 22 million misapplied within the period of 6 months. We're seeing the same thing happening in President Boca government, 22 million giving, no proper information as regarding how it was spent, or PPCC law was broken. And we see the public work minister, we see the LCC, Liberian Council of Churches, now is requesting for the president to allow his boy to give an account. I'm sorry for saying his boy, but allow the Minister of Public Works to give a total overview of how the money was spent, because there is a pattern. That's just my 2 cents. I'm seeing there's a pattern. So can he give us some kind of estimate? Because the last time he was on OKF and other radio station like with T-Mac Derate, he said so far I think about 8 million have been spent so far, and the process is for up to 2025 or 2026.
Okay.
But can he give us a breakdown of how these monies are being spent?
Okay. In the interest of fairness, let me bring in the liberal that his area is big guy. But he too, he quick to walk back here. When Gideon, that's his name, right? The current public works minister.
Yeah, Gideon.
Yeah, Gideon. The liberal slamming here as not being able to do something new in his work, because he was one there before with Helen Johnson. So he had this discontent why President White House. He did a whole prime time show. The next day, he came with a clapping hands and with a white. I told Gideon that he would do it and this. But liberal, you as a professional, you as an engineer yourself, we're saying this amount in question. There seems to be a pattern. Something is not right. I'm not saying there's any crime or something being committed here. But if you were in that position, don't you think, or he, Gideon, and his team were to do a comprehensive review before even taking over, or was it like the rule 20 something millions, and we are going with it here? We are having a conversation.
Well, let me just tell you this, Mr. So. Minister Gideon, he's not an engineer. He's a manager. But he does have strong engineers in the different technical field or technical position.
Friday,
so excuse me?
No, I was telling Esther happy Friday. She's telling us happy Friday.
Esther is talking to me.
Celebrity Toe is here and to try to, you see how calm I am tonight? Yeah, I'm way up there now. I can't talk to CDC and say CDC put their foot in their mouth. I can't say those kind of thing anymore. I have to.
But you just said it.
I'm giving an example. I'm not going to say those things anymore. But no, let me, on a very serious note, let me say that. So, according to folks inside from Public Works, the $22 million, yes, indeed, it was given. But out of the $22 million, the total amount that was spent, according to Insider, is about $8 million. Out
of the 22.
Out of the 22.
What becomes fresh?
That still remains to be seen, because I have not seen any paperwork on that. I'm just speaking strictly for inside information. Another thing that I also want to say is that going back to this judiciary money, they will get their pay, and I think the judiciary themselves, the Chief Justice, I think they have reached their limit. And I think President Bakai most likely will now frown on those who have the issue, who was holding up this thing. Because at the meeting the president mandated the finance ministry and the speaker also have the Ways and Means guy for them to get together along with the judiciary technical people with budget to come up with it, and they've never done that. So the issue is, are they playing what games with the co-equal branch? And I think if the Supreme Court decide to challenge these people on that budgetary constitutional point of that budgetary issue, the executive and legislature are going to be in trouble, because based on that, the judiciary can create what I believe to be constitutional crisis, and you will not function as a government if the crises are there, because the judiciary will say, unless this issue is resolved, we're not moving anything. And if you start having cases, backlog of cases, people going to jail with no reason, no redress, then your ability to function as a government will be limited. And I'm sure the president, the wonderful president we have, will not allow this. This president is so sensible. This president is so good that he would not allow any of these things to happen. President Bakar, not only is he sensible, he's experienced, he knows these things, and that's why God put him there to lead us. Mr. So, rest assured, Liberia will be good. President Bakar will make sure that the judiciary get their fair share of whatever budgetary allotment that is coming to them. Now, let me say this again. Even the Chief Justice herself, the money that she put forth, she said that's an estimate. And me as an engineer, construction, whatever it is, when you say estimate, that's not something you can hold on to. It fluctuates. So please, let us don't try to target President. Let's do this thing as it is, and President Bakar will make sure this thing works. That's what he does. He's very good at that, making sure things work for us.
All right.
Never have you received the $45,000 car? Because the way you're talking, I don't know.
Yeah, we are about to have a bridge over trouble. We are about to have another bridge over troubled water. Another guy is coming. I think the real crisis is about to unleash. Let me bring King Jerry back on Washington. Washington here. Let's see what happens.
Oh, you know that your co-host not coming to know. It will not be easy.
I can continue. You see the man, they try his I think some glitches going on. You see how they put in, but I cannot pay a phone bill, so you see how he device is looking like. Whole security man. You see that?
My internet is perfect.
Your host never just buy $45,000 car.
I hope
you guys want to be audited. So what is it? How did audit going? So you guys want to be audited?
You audited me?
The board of director, you know, just want to be audited. Auditor. In fact, your letter is in the mail already. So let us forget what I want. Your letter is in the mail already.
Until I can get out, the administration is also reviewing how the board of directors, who should be looking out there for funding, is now maybe to be talking for the government. We need to also know where that comes from here. Mr. Jared Barkon, good evening. Welcome. How good to have you here.
I could have to be here. The child from Beyond is here.
Yeah.
To be with the intellectual.
Happy Friday. Tomorrow is another big day, right? I was spinning through. Maybe Sunday I will pop through big, but I have some sort of engagement tomorrow already. It's been booked, and it has to be fulfilled. So, but trust me, Sunday I'm gonna jump through there.
So, well, like we all say, the Gogba will be here. In fact, the best ones there anyway.
Yeah. You know, sometimes people go when the noise quiet down, then you pass through. Okay, so Mr. Barkon, thank you for what you do for giving back. Even though I'm 99% not in the line with some of the things that you say here with you and your guy, but it's why it is. We do not sanction voices. We listen to people and see why it is. Good evening. Good to have you here. this event. And we were just on the Supreme Court, which is also is a separate branch of the government. Very important, very crucial. You considering your background, all of these things that we are kind of talking about. At the end of the day, it ends up with the judiciary, the law enforcers, and all of that. Here we're talking it's inconclusive, and they said there could be a possible shutdown in government. I don't know who is Kevin McCarthy now in the judiciary, but Tuesday, oh my goodness, what a night! the state radio analysts like LPRs like analysts, they come in. He went for the first time. He said he was already telling me. He gone there. He gone back for the second time. And now, Jerry, are you with the leper? You on the list? So you on the list? You got caught the EFCC show list.
No, I'm not even tuned to it. I'm not listening to it yet. Hopefully, I'll listen to it maybe next week. But I've been busy, so I'm not even tuned to it. But hopefully, I'll tune to it and see what.
No, I said, will you go because the leper I talk to you because sister now gone there. I will see what would be the excuse for tonight. The other day you were busy and he just jumped there 30 minutes. That kind of spider west story. Let's see what.
We're not bringing Jerry there because we only one shot history now at the time. Now the fuck anything. So.
Okay. Something told now my greater from Grandgida to Lofa County.
No.
But Koto is from Lofa.
We carry something told me and Koto now from Lofa, so that all we're feeling close at all. On Sunday we bring Bishop Collins, but I only you're not coming to pray.
So the thing that I travel war. Okay, I see what it is.
I already want FBRL.
Okay, Mr. Goya, good evening. Welcome.
How you doing, gentlemen? It's nice to be on.
Okay, good. All right, to all our viewers, thank you so much. The legendary Amos George, the 1%. Where is Cummings? Arizona Cummings. Is he in America or in Liberia or Burkina Faso? You say ANC won't change their name to something else, then? Okay, Jerry, back to you. We will talk about that.
That's what you're looking for today, that Friday. I'm putting my more ANC people. So
you know how to hold people in trouble.
Anybody who go to Burkina Faso, you know what? Anybody who go to Burkina Faso, there's something in the making. So we don't want nobody to go to Burkina Faso. That's the whole thing. So that's anyway.
Yeah, no, on the serious here,
All right.
budget of the judiciary. Should the president do more than what he's doing? Because if they have this conversation and they said there was going to be an intervention, I think it should be spontaneous. I mean, that's what you do. Politicians, all the good is to lobby. Lobby it. And they are separate branch of government. I'm not sure they are lining out. But the people that really get a problem in our country and we are not doing much or nothing much is being done, it's all about their own ego, is that legislature. That building there, something in that building, something there that needs to be fixed. These people, they are evil. It's all about themselves. We saw what they're doing during the heat of the epidemic, what they did to themselves. It's all about themselves. I wish we can send Toure from Guinea to go there and say he's not buying no car for Maker. They don't need no, the car they have is enough. But Jerry and Samson Tour will not allow that to happen. Let's go ahead. Let me get my back on.
Well, I was able to read the article today about the Chief Justice. You see, we have to be very careful how we utter our words, especially those in the legal profession. Because that's the only remedy we have when there's dispute. And people start making these remarks, it's also detrimental to the welfare of our government.
Who people? What do you mean? Who people?
Well, listen to the Chief Justice. Did you read the article about the money issue?
Of course. So what was the bad thing the Chief Justice said?
Listen, you are the Chief Justice. Listen, Mr. Listen, you are the man. You are the Chief Justice. You are the Chief Justice. You are the Chief Justice of the Republic of Liberia. When you speak, the nation listening. The nation listening.
Okay.
So there's a better way to approach it than go out there and say,
to shut government down.
yes, yes, you are the Chief Justice of the Republic of Liberia, threatening to shut the government down.
I don't hear what you're saying here. You are trying to undercut the work of the judiciary here. The speaker can also threaten the executive if they are operators to say, "Oh, we shut government down." So the one that demand to be met. So are you saying because
let's say these are politicians. They speak as a politician, but you as a judiciary, you are the last person to say to be the government to be threatening that. You know that you can't do it in this country. Or the Chief Justice or Rabba or what he say, Rabba will can say, "Here, I'm going to shut the government down." Are you kidding me? Where are we going? Where are we going? Threatening the government of Republic of Liberia? You are the Chief Justice? Man, come on, let's be realistic on this show. Let's be real. If the Speaker of the House will shut the government down, yeah, Donald Trump did it here. He shut the government down for some time. But you are the Chief Justice of these are politicians. That's three branches of government. These are politicians. They can talk what they want to talk. But you are the Chief Justice. You are the large decision-making body of that nation. When we have dispute, you set out what dispute. Now you preempt.
No,
okay. Let's look at it another hypothetically. If somebody say something happened and we go into the Chief Justice, what would do? She said she was going to shut the government down. Where she said going to be impartial.
That is what they
she said going to be impartial.
They're trying to claim to the government attentions.
No, that's not a way to claim the government attention.
I'm not going to talk about hypothetical here.
That's not a way to claim the government attention. Yeah, okay, let somebody offend that crap. If somebody appear before her, we should be impartial.
Of course.
How would she be impartial when she already finished taking the stand?
What she's doing, she's defending the Constitution.
She's not defending it. She's flaming it.
The laws of the country to be effective. In order for the country, the laws to be effective, it also has to be funded. I told you, you were coming in to create another chaos here when dealing with something, so it's not a surprise. Let me go to Sese. I'm not sure what I'm going to meet up with Sese too, but we will be on the air. Mr. Koya, good evening.
Yes, sir. Good evening. How are you doing? You want me to speak on the Supreme Court issue?
Oh, why not? Or you want court here?
I think the Chief Justice is childish. I think her utterances were below the bar, and I think she needs tutorial in political speech. I don't think she knows the law. I don't think she's read the law. I think she acted out of sentiment, and that is my point. And I don't think she's protecting the Constitution. I think she's defending her pocketbook. I think she lacks the spine to protect the Constitution, to say she's protecting the Constitution. Where has she been when the Constitution has been violated, when Article 6 of the Constitution, Article 10 of the Constitution talks about education and teaching civics in school? Where has she been to push those? That is teaching the Constitution in the school. Where has she been? Where has she been when several really critical components of government, like health, like education and security, have been underfunded against the law? Where has she been? She's talking because they can't give a scratch card to her, so she will shut down government. That was asinine. That was below the belt. That was unbecoming of the Chief Justice of the Republic of Liberia. I say when she family Liberia put me in jail.
You know, in Liberia, when you are there, I didn't think I will wait until you get to the airport. So here we are at the Nevada House. The Liberal recruit seems to be working.
I'm looking for the show today. I don't know. I don't come on Friday.
No, today they are day off. You see, you're not getting a water bottle too. That's okay. So Terry, here we are. Jerry, I told you there are going to be a bridge over troubled water. Jerry started CC. Those are the Liberal allies. So Dr. Jones.
I've been reading the Constitution, the section on the Supreme Court. They don't determine they don't vote on their own budget. You made a proposal, and it went through budget hearing, like everything else. They got reduced. What an argument, yeah. But let's tell you go find someone and sit down there.
Yeah. So
the Minnesota politician. You can go to Liberia, you know. Yeah, Terry, let's hear you.
You know, it's just sad for Liberia. You know, we play with ourselves and we think that we're playing with the country future. I mean, and we think that we're doing it to somebody else when we're doing it to our very selves. The budget of the judiciary is a budget that makes them function. It's not for sending you to put scratch in her pocket. Her budget is a law. And if her budget had been that budget that have been keeping the entire judiciary up, that means that the government should pay attention to that, especially when the government budget is increasing instead of decreasing. When the legislative budget is increasing instead of decreasing. She said she contested. She had been communicating with both the House and the executive. She didn't just come out of the blue and wrote that letter because she felt disenchanted. She said she had been communicating with these people and they pay her no attention. And she wants there are judges that need to be deployed in other parts of the country that need to carry on their function, and they cannot carry on the function because the budget, they don't have the money required to carry on the function. Then you're saying tonight on the show that the woman is this, the woman is that, the woman is the other. I don't agree with that statement. I don't agree with that, Sissy. I think that we are being ingenious to
agreement. It was a statement of a man. I will be for your agreement.
No, I agree. That's your opinion. I respect it, but I don't agree with your opinion. I believe that it's insensitive to the whole entire judiciary. You know, we buy $45,000 car for legislature. We buy each of them $45,000 car. You know, we're hearing that the oil refinery boss in person of what the guy name, man? 12 is riding almost a $90,000 car. Do you know that? And other ministers are riding hundreds of $1,000 cars.
You didn't get a link?
That is being insensitive to an entire branch of government in the country that is only requesting for 31 million. In as much as she is not saying that, oh, we want the whole 31 million, but she's trying to say be reasonable enough to consider the work we do and all of the things we have to put into play. This deputy speaker increased his budget by 100+%. The pro tem increased her budget to 1 million. The speaker increased his budget. But upon the judiciary budget, they put only 3 million there. That's what they added to the budget. Then you're telling me that is reasonable, that she should go sit down. She didn't need to say anything. She should just keep her mouth shut. And no, that I think that has been disrespectful to the judiciary. That's just my point.
Terry.
Hold on.
Can I correct Terry? Because sometimes.
Hold on. I come in 1 second. Let's go back.
You really need to drink water, Terry. You really
join 11:35 way of listening to people. We gotta fix it.
Yeah.
No, you can't fix it because that's my view.
And you were talking, I gave you a chance. Hold on, let me correct you.
Yeah,
Okay,
you're not correcting me. You're saying your own. You're not correcting me. Because you might correct me with facts.
Listen.
I want opinion as a correction.
But hold on. If I ain't open my mouth yet, you see the problem there. You're always preaching revelation. I ain't even said nothing in one judge. I would say I'm a correct with facts.
But I'm a preacher now. I got to preach revelation in John 3:16.
Okay, guys, both of you hold on 1 second. Mr. Goya, please hold on 1 second. We got to stabilize the conversation here. Let me bring the man from the far right. I think they said Donald Trump going to a place there today.
I hope you allow me to make some correction because Terry
I want to get you on the proposal. Let's see here. Mr. George.
Sir.
Let's hear you. I guess you are monitoring. Good evening.
Yeah. How you doing? I compare the call. CNN Yoke, the Chief Justice. She need to be in that place.
What place? A temple of justice?
She need to be there. Nothing but he need to be there. Whatever the government because he was considered a black man. What power does he has to make that kind of remark as Chief Justice? His hearing, okay, first, the second argument says, she wrote the court, no response. She wrote the president, actually met the president in person to discuss, even if she met the president. There are other areas that they have cut our budget. So if she didn't get it for what's not the come of the situation, and not the government. Just know that because every time I take it like right now, got the power to say they want to shut down, I want to shut down the government. Just think we got to stop it. The lawlessness in the country is from the ground up to the top. One line you saw Supreme Court saying, Chief Justice saying that they're going to shut down government because they did not get the full budgetary allotment. $100,000 actually making. The traveling she going. But these kind of people, I don't think people are just up that blame. Because that Supreme Court need to be audited to find out how they're using the money they have been given them. This thing is completely ludicrous. So everybody the government will shut down to the minister, if I get, I will do this 1 year. This is not a general republic. If Scenario feels that the court is not from the foreign, she has a right to resign. It's simple. I don't know what a judge can do. She's welcome. She can go and run a law firm. But not everybody makes the orders that will undermine the country.
Resign without her speaking her mind? Was that a violation?
I mean, if you're somewhere and you're not getting the support of the government or any incident, you can resign. It doesn't mean you compare the state.
So
you can leave.
Is she not liable to explain maybe the causes of
She's
a
not explaining. She made it clear. She's not explaining. She's not explaining. So, Alfonso, you are the one that you want to go back and up. She was not explaining.
It's not a matter of backings. I'm having an open conversation. I'm having an open conversation.
It's not explaining. She issued a credit, and I want to know what part of the Constitution gave her the power to shut down the government.
Bravo.
She showed her the power of the Constitution that gave her the right. Now, if you don't get your pay, you can shut down the government. You don't get a budget, you can shut it down. This thing has to start in like we have to call these people. They got to start the money at government. If they have like
so
budget allotment, you don't want it. If the government
so
you can be a budget.
Talking about it, and I know the constitutional issues is all with factor.
She's not at her position. She's not be speaking like that because if he's speaking like that, how are you going to treat? If the minister has a case that can't inform you, how are you going to handle it?
Okay, that's a component. But everybody try to put this in here. Talking about shutting down government, do you think we are also aware that the judiciary is a separate branch of government? If she doesn't have the fundings that they have, and the court systems are paralyzed, they're not working, is not literally shutting down government in itself? Where you don't have judges, when you don't have judges, courts going to work?
She got some money to people already. Other institutions were cut down. It will cut down. Other ministry or embassy, but it will cut down. Because this was related because I saw something in the paper yesterday that the revenue intake has gone on and they're going to meet the demand. So now everybody now want to get a piece of the LFE now. So that's how people behave.
Somebody need to step in. Okay. Okay.
Said that to be the revenue target for this period. No. So everybody now the LFE meaning they want to demand they got to get a portion of that money.
Okay.
This is why the country is wrong. Like people are running a massive country. Oh. Let us see how much for all these things I will put it at the feet of Joseph Walker because of which is can be if they are audited and people being accountable, then of course we'll see some people some but if we do this thing, they just get away with it. You You get the money. Why not the Supreme Court audit it?
Okay. Not only the Supreme Court, the people who even create the budget, all of them, everywhere.
It's Senate, the same thing. But a federal staff. I hear that if you don't get something from the central government, you don't get all, then what you got to do, the only alternative is to say, I will shut the government down. Now with that position, Joseph Walker they're supposed to ask her to resign because she will never be impartial again because her position is standing against the government. The Minister of Finance got there, she will say, hey, the director of what the government, no, that's a fire. You don't want to put my money down.
So okay, before I go to CC here, and that's how the folks at the far right, they always cut the deal. So if you were providing counsel to President Joseph Boakai now, you would call for reformation.
I will call you to explain why she would shut the government down.
Okay. Good.
Why she was saying if our budget is not fully funded, and that's the reason that the Constitution gave her to shut down the government. Let me explain to the Liberian people.
All right. So we'll have you there, Mr. George, on the line from Atlanta, Georgia. Hang in there. Let me go to Sister Goya, based in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Sister, you came out strong, and it seems that everybody been solidified. They back on the liberal, and yeah. So let's hear you. What you say you want to make?
So I said, and again, when I started, I said the speech was asinine. It was childish. She should not have made a speech. That's exactly what I said. And then I went on to question the authority she has to even say she will shut down the government. And Terry said budgets are law. Yes, budgets are law, but not what you propose is what is voted upon. So the Supreme Court proposed whatever they propose. The legislature has control of the nation's purse. They can determine and send out a budget back. And remember, the budget reconciliation process is between one of two branches of government. When the executive proposes a budget, this is just basic civics, the legislature looks at it, they can add, they can subtract, and they send it back to the electorate, and they send what they want back to the president. The president can either veto or line item veto stuff. Nothing in that budgetary system that goes back to the Supreme Court or goes to the judiciary. They ask you, what do you want as a judiciary? You send that. It gets captured in the budget. When budget reconciliations go on, it's only between two branches of government. Whatever gets voted upon is the law. It's not what the Supreme Court said that we needed. And the reason I wanted to say this is because there has been nothing violated in the Constitution. And the reason I pointed out and said, Chanel Yoja want gas card is I lay out everything. I said, where was she when education was not funded according to the constitutional mandate? Did she threaten to shut down the government? Where was she when healthcare was not funded according to the constitutional mandate? Where was she when Article 10 has not been carried out of the Constitution? That now she won't complain because she wants money.
The woman is not a political. She's not a politician.
Listen, but she's not a politician.
To do that.
Here's the thing, my brother.
Oh,
the thing. You can pick. You can put one side. And
but that's how.
Hold on. At the end of
the
day, Article 72 of the Liberian Constitution, Article 72, says the justices of the Supreme Court and all other judges shall receive such salaries, allowances, and benefits as established by the law, and the law is the budget. Such salaries shall be subject to taxes as determined by law, provided that they shall not otherwise be diminished, that they are not reduced. They increased it by $3 million. It was not reduced. It is not a violation of the Constitution. Senenyo is not an elected politician. There are ways that you speak. It's not in this manner. You are the arbiter, the chief arbiter of the Republic. There are ways you speak, and the way she chose. If I was advising Joseph Boakai, this is her stress taking. I would not even engage with her.
So before I go to Terry here, I'm trying to.
I think it's going to come because Terry just spoke. So I will
This is not a liberal show. You're not going to tell me who to call, who not to call. It is within my own determination to go and make a follower. So I know what you're going to do. So, Mr. Goyle, so if I can sense out in the argument, the judiciary seems to be the chief interpreters of the laws when laws and constitutions are violated. In this case, we are arguing the Chief Justice did not other constitution like the health, like the educations, they were all funded and they were issued. They were quiet. They did not speak out. So why is she speaking out?
I
That
don't know how money now because of the oil palm money not coming in quick. She think my man said Emo just said banana republic. Me I said oil palm republic.
you and Emma Joy friend here that tonight you want to draw your one there. Okay. Okay, so Terry, we now know our piece. I told you don't never hang out with this guy, but you don't listen to me. So you see, liberal now he acting like he's on it. I'm gonna come to you. I don't want this guy to be Mr. Bacon.
Yeah, you see, my brother.
My network is freezing.
Yeah.
Let me come. Let me
Yeah,
go
there's an
out.
echo in the background too. I don't think it's just your network alone, Terry. I think that's an echo.
Okay, he went out to come back. Let's go. Go ahead, Mr. Bacon.
The Constitution. She is the Supreme Court Justice, Chief Justice. It's not just an associate justice. When she speaks, the word listing. For you to go and say you will shut down the government, what constitution? Let her read the constitution. What constitutional power she had to say she should shut down the government? That's maintenance. Nothing, I mean.
Oh wow, that's so that's equipped to military mutiny. Is that what you said?
She's a hostage taker. She's taking hostages.
Yeah.
Wow, what a strange.
That's what it is. If the armed forces of Liberia to say we don't get our money for that reason, guess what? We're gonna step down. Huh? What is that? The police say because we don't get our budget for that reason. Yeah? We're gonna do slow walking.
Is it on?
Geneva.
So getting a background talking there. So let's see here.
Geneva.
Okay, let me let me.
Jerry, you muted yourself.
No,
me?
I don't know where the noise are coming from. Is that Emma Joyce? Who going to do that?
Because I was hearing Pele in the background.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I can stay talk.
Yeah, go ahead.
So you are the chief justice. When you talk, people listen to you. You are valuable because you are the last person when we have dispute. You said our dispute, even if the other two branches of government had dispute. And for you to say you shut down the government, that's nothing. Let's be realistic here. Let's not sugarcoat it. The other civil servant, the Ministry of Education can go on strike. The Ministry of Public Works can go on strike. But you are the last person for you to say such a thing in the Republic of Ireland. I mean, this country, we have to protect it. Let us not do something that will be detrimental to the future of our country. Let's be realistic here. Let's be honest.
Okay, let me go, Jerry. Mr. Collins.
Yeah, so I know that it's kind of tedious, but it is clear to me that I don't think we understand the procedure of the three branches of government. The judiciary have the right to resist the budget. They have the right to do that because it is
Which clause?
It is the agreement of the three branches of government.
Which clause of the Constitution give them that right?
The judiciary interprets the law. The budget is a law. The judiciary interprets the law.
Before that, you are preeminent. They are not coming before the judge.
No one has challenged the law.
Mr. Bacon.
Hold on, guys. Come on.
The judiciary has the right. The judiciary has the right to oppose the budget.
We can only interpret the law if there's a challenge to the law.
Precisely.
Gentlemen, we can't do that.
So my question to you is, why is it? Yeah.
When he ends his point, I think you can speak if there's something presentation or whatever you can do. But when we all scramble away, then we will not have our audience to get a takeaway.
Thank you, sir.
Before we change the topic. Yeah, go ahead. What you say?
I'm not a judge, but go back and read the letter. It's clearly there by what she said. The judiciary, the legislature, and the president. They have. Why is the judiciary stalling the president's executive order right now? Because the executive order is supposed to be the constitutional power of the president. But someone lay a complaint and the judiciary put a stay order on the executive order of the president. That's how powerful they are. The judiciary can engage the budget and tell you that they are not satisfied with the budget. They have the right to do that because they are the ones that are responsible, according to the C7 you talk about, to interpret the law. If the budget is a law, they have the right to contest it.
Okay.
Now, this lady said clearly that they have been going back and forth. The budget was in the draft budget when she gave when they gave the budget to the finance ministry. It was drafted with 17 million. The finance ministry, which is under the executive, sent the budget to the House, which is the procedure. And the House said, agreed that this is the budget, and they sent it back. The judiciary said, no, this budget will not be enough for us to carry on our operation.
Okay.
So you need to increase it to some extent. They said no, they increased it to only $3 million. And they did it between the House and the executive. And while in the process, the judiciary was still negotiating.
Okay.
While in the process of that, the judiciary was still negotiating before the president signed the budget into law.
Okay, hold on quickly here before we go away. Let me bring in the liberal, Mr. Boyer.
Anyway.
Back on you, bringing your point before we go to the next topic before we wrap up for the evening. The liberal, who are you chatting with?
Mr. So, like I said, the newfound position does not allow me to interject in these type of discussion. I have to be very patient now and make sure my point of view is of a different standard. And so I want to clear this out very quickly tonight. I've been reading the Constitution myself, and the way I see this thing, the government of the Republic of Liberia, the executive branch, nor the legislature have violated any constitution, any part of the Constitution whatsoever. But I think what she's saying, and let me read this here. I think this is the key word she uses here. I don't know why she had to put the other words in there, but I thought this was going to be very, very, very interesting. The pastures of the legislature and the executive will lead one to wonder as to whether upholding the rule of or law is sincere. I think if she's coming out to question their sincerity and not in the legal framework, I think she will have sympathy. But to wrap it around as though somebody have violated the Constitution, Liberians, what these people have to understand is that we have young Liberians that are educated. Nobody's stupid anymore. They will question you. And once you come across as someone who is not paying key attention to your role as an interpreter of the Constitution, by you bringing out what some might call false allegation and things like that, and things that people are going to run away with it because you are the Supreme Court justice, then perhaps you undercut your own power. I thought that if she was to, because what is happening here, the $17 million, most likely is not enough. But I believe there are three branches, equal branches. I think she should be allowed to have some sort of a negotiation process. But people will not negotiate with you when you tell them that they are in violation of the Constitution. Because once the Supreme Court, as a Supreme Court Chief Justice, when you make this statement, every one of the people in the executive, every one of the people in the judiciary that want to talk to you, they're not going to be walking a fine line. In fact, some might say, no, I don't want to talk to her until we have a lawyer to interpret what she's saying. And it has not reached that point yet, Mr. So I think the whole point of as to what are the legislature and the executive as dealing with the judiciary, as to whether they are sincere in understanding the equal right of the core branches of government. So I think if she were to have that, stick with that, I think she would gain no sympathy from more intellectual among us. But to say someone is violating the Constitution, that's far-fetched. Now, one more thing here, Mr. So. As I stated, please give me one more second thing. The $17 million, for me, it's not enough, number one. And but the Constitution itself said they must increase it. So if the legislature were just to increase it by 2 cents, they follow the Constitution. There's nothing you can say in that. They follow, even if they just put 1 cent.
Article 72, that's what I said.
Yeah, exactly. So she should have come across, be sorry, get angry, but leave the Constitution out of it and say we're all equal. Why will you give us this type of money when you executive and the legislature is spending the huge sums of money on yourself when we here are supposed to be doing it? So I think President Baka, once again, President Baka as a logical and truthful leader will take this on, and it won't go farther than what on LPR. It's not even going to pass LPR and stuff. They think President Baka has it under control. We're not going to have constitutional crisis, nothing like that, unless the like of LPR and the other Tabata radio station want to make it into a constitutional crisis. But I will make sure that the government of the Republic of Liberia will make sure that the constitutional crisis that the press is trying to generate will not be successful, and President Baka will make sure these things are taken care of, Mr.
So who is that? Are you saying it is LPR creating the constitutional crisis? Is that why you're telling the audience here?
If they have failure,
He said some members of LPR. He said the whole LPR. He said
I said the whole LPR. I said some member of the press, some member of the LPR.
Who are the members?
The CEO.
This guy here busy appearing here, driving him nuts a few days. So if anything comes from other, we got to wrap up a day. But since you wanted to make a point, I got one more thing here before we go.
Oh, no. Let's move on. I think Samson to said it. And my thing is, I'm not saying that they don't deserve increase. I'm just saying the hypocrisy of when this thing has been happening over and over to many other institutions and you haven't done anything. And to assume that you have an authority to negotiate, you're done. That is why the budgeting system is between the executive and the legislature. They do the negotiation and they come out what comes out.
Okay. Yeah, this is very strange because we cannot have this sort of conversation here and somebody pick
on the 3 branch of government. How 2 questions
on the former government.
Just follow the budget system, brother. What the law says.
I think we're done with that stuff there. That is an obituary now, so we'll put it to rest. Let's have this quick conversation here before we leave. I'm going to put a number there. Hopefully people want to participate. But this is what David Fahad saying. I think we had a little brief conversation here now, and other people coming out of the shell to speak out publicly. Do not allow your supporters to mislead you. Former Finance Minister Fahad tells President
I think I read that.
Weird, according to the Investigators newspaper. And he's speaking specifically with the incident that occurred when the former president returned to the country. He sees a different way, that he had his turn, every year he had his turn. He should not be influenced, according to him, by his surrogates and stuff like that. He had a day when he was a footballer, he had a time when he served as a 6-year term. Fahad is now saying, hey, do not be blown away by the wind. Do not do your follow. If you want to do your politics, that is fine, but do not create this sort of stuff here. That is kind of the strain. Fahad is a former finance minister during the Samuel Doe administration, speaking out publicly here, calling on the president not to be influenced by his supporters. Sister Goya.
Well, the issue of the President Weah's arrival, I think for me, I want to hold my tongue until I can really see what comes out of the hearings because I heard, I don't know if my information is correct, that Representative Foucault had written plenary for key people, including the chief of staff of the army and a lot of people that appear to show to kind of brief them. So because for me, President Weah, like every other Liberian citizen, has the right freedom of movement as guaranteed by the law, right? You can go and come out of the country as ever many times as you want. For me, I don't think that should be abridged. But on the issue of security, if this particular incident, if there were, like I'm hearing, again, there's a rumor mill, so I don't want to believe in it. I will wait till I see what comes out of the legislature. If there were credible security threat and the security agencies acted, then that is within the law. But then again, it has to be how credible was the threat and what is the analysis that went into that. And so for me, I would like to wait. If there was no security threat and the army deployed simply because CDC was showing up in numbers and in mass, then that would be foolery. But again, I can't speak to that because I don't know what the security knew and up to date. I don't know if any private citizen knows what the security knew and why they made the decisions that they made. So I will wait for hearing that Representative Foucault has initiated. I will follow through, and then when we hear what comes out, then we can make a judgment on that. But so, George Weah is still the leader of the largest opposition political party in Liberia. So to say that he cannot be political or that his movement would not be political, I don't think that is a fair expectation. Because everywhere he goes, there are going to be people behind him, and every speech he makes is going to be viewed within the political lens.
So not to hold you in contempt or liable, what former Minister Fahai is saying, is he getting over the edge in his statement generally from what you see, what you have read, by he saying what he has put out there? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I don't know. I think you know, President Weah, by far, people say he's a peace-loving man, and I don't have any evidence to show otherwise that he's not a peace-loving man. And so I think sometimes some of the utterances that we make as leaders, and that's the reason I came out high against CNAO. Some of the speeches we make as leaders, we got to realize that there are other people down the line who are digesting that, and they might not digest it properly if we don't give them in granular size, in bite size, so that they're able to digest it. And so I think that's what former minister that he wants.
Hold on, breakable.
Yeah.
That will pick up the line. You hold on. So when you talking about war business?
I think what Minister Fahai is saying.
You're doing. I'll listen. I see now.
You can't be in 5 places at the same time. All right, go ahead, Mr. Boyle.
I think what former Minister Fahai is trying to say is that the former president should recognize the power that he has, the power of his speech, and that he should use that wisely. I think that's what he's trying to say. But I don't think anybody can advise the president, former president, as a private citizen on how to leave the country and how to come back. As long as there's not a breach in security.
Okay, Breakable, go ahead quickly here. In a minute, we're not going to carry on. We want to move strictly on time here. Let's hear you.
I listen to my brother say, Lizzie.
Yeah.
Today, my name is Sisse.
Okay, Sisse. Okay, look, listen. Terry is my best friend. He's the best man on the whole platform. Okay. He's the man of the match. Because look, you are a patriotic citizen today. Listen. How can you imagine? You got 3 dredging in the country. The lot of dredging increases the budget. Then the people complain that the justice system in the country is full. Do you expect the justice system to do the best when you got to make the executive and the legislature increasing the salary and increasing all the allowance in one of the judiciary to
Okay, the line, we have a lot of people online here. 30 seconds. Go ahead quickly. All right.
And look, it's the airport business. I don't want to put anything out of politics. Let's be fair. This man is not your ordinary president. This man is former president. Listen, the man in the country now, the pastor from Nigeria, uses VIP. The pastor from Nigeria uses VIP. And the police, the IG, work on the man, uses VIP. He's going to former president.
Okay, thank you so much.
Is that correct? Yeah, be fair with this one.
All right, bye. Okay, Mr. George, I'll come to you. Let me have these two callers. 203 number, 9037. Caller, are you there?
Yeah, this is Walton.
Walton Kettle, let's hear you.
Thank you very much. Very interesting show. On the issue of the Supreme Court, I think never in the history of the Supreme Court that he has ever shut down the government. The Supreme Court is a judicial body that interprets the law and ensure that they align with the Constitution. They have no authority to shut down the government. So I don't know what Terry comes from with stuff. They could negotiate with people who make the budget or set the budget so they can get funding to execute, their mandate. Unfortunately, we are in such a time where I think the government is not putting her resources where it's supposed to be, and that's the frustrating part of it. Mr. Faha's statement about President Weah and to the entire time happening, right? We have to look at, and I know this brother sister, you don't want to be fast to speak about this issue. But let's look at the history. President Weah left the presidency after constructing that place. He should have seen PRP presidential rush to go out of the country. On his way back, let's look at what happened. Let's look at what Eugene Nangbe said, and what President Weah claimed was approaching about a day or two before his departure from wherever he came from to enter the country. They were denied to the extent where the plane was just having one of the go to Sierra to land at one point and all that kind of stuff. 2 or 3 occasions, the president was denied. And the only thing the executive branch had to say was, I think there was some renovation or something on happening over there. All right. Now, we're supposed to have only one president of VRP law. The reason we got 2 is because a new one was constructed and the old one is still there. So what they're trying to tell the president is, immediate past president, he cannot use the law for presidential or affair. He can only use the old law, the old VRP era. And so seditionists were saying, no, the president was Joseph Barker was vice president, a former vice president. They are married to passing us all the time. Why now this man is denying from doing it? And that's what we should be talking. I think to unite our country is not to allow these previous stuff to be really more division. The country is 50-50 divided. And Gregory Como said it today on Spoon. You understand? And it's so saddening that this government will use the military to go and stop peaceful citizens from welcoming their leader. Terrence Oscar said he was going to the airport where anybody text you if they don't see you, that airport going to be burned down. There's nobody touching. Everybody went to work and they drove into the city of Monrovia. Now, President, we have a man who is so peaceful. If people want to go just to give him that courtesy, we cannot do that. I think it's saddening. I think the Waka government should do better. Okay. It's so challenging to stop a former president and the most popular man, the most loved Liberian in the country.
Okay, Kettle, let's hold it there. We want to work within the time. Hold on there.
I think we should do better than that.
Okay. All right. Let me go to this number here, 865 number 2474. Thank you for holding up there. Caller, what's your name and where you calling from?
This is Eric Carlo. I'm calling from Knoxville, Tennessee.
Knoxville, Tennessee. Let's hear you from Tennessee.
I greet everyone of you on the platform tonight.
Thank you very much. Good to have you
here. The Bible, I think we have a pastor on the platform tonight, so I know he will correct me. But the Bible said that when the wicked rule, the nations suffer. When the wicked rule, the nations suffer. Liberia is suffering right now because the wicked is ruling.
When you say hold on one second. When you say the wicked is ruling, are you making reference to President Boyka?
President Boyka is a leader, is a president in Liberia right now.
Can you phone come to play?
I gotta. Okay, no, I want to make sure. No, not you. So it's Yeah, go ahead. And now we'll do a follow up.
Okay. So when the Bible says, when the wicked rule, the nation suffer, the people suffer. The way President Black is carrying the nation, the way he's worried about the ruling is very bad. He needs to stop it. He's a father man. He's a father man. I don't think.
Can you count as example? Can you, Eric, for discussion purposes and to give our audience a clear understanding what you are saying? Can you count an example?
What I'm trying to say is that now, when President Weah was coming from wherever you're coming from, when President Barker was vice president at the time, he could pass how long. Nobody said he should pass it because of the power he carried. It's the same thing with President Weah today. President Weah was president before, now he left, he's former president. So he had the right to look at the VIP or the presidential. He had the right. So you cannot keep stopping him. You cannot keep doing this. It's very bad. And let's say on a platform, Jenna, I heard you are talking in a judiciary or business. But when the secretary, which is the army, you said you don't want to talk inside. And see the kind of thing what we doing in Liberia, that's not right. Why you throwing a jurisdiction and now you're doing a business? You see it? So we are the ones messing our country up. Okay. Because when the two are there, whether you from CDC, you from Unity Party, you from ANC, the Bible says we should say the truth so that we can be set free.
Let the church say, "Hey, Metro, Mr. Talu."
We'll collect offering for you to fucking call on Sunday.
Okay, Mr. Talu, thank you very much.
No, I mean, let me just end what I wanted to say because the main reason I called.
Oh, the other one part of it.
Let him play cassette. Let me play cassette.
So let me just finish.
Yeah, go ahead.
When fire is the first thing you will see coming as smoke. Smoke will be the very first thing that you will see. You can't just see fire like that. So I am begging you, the house can start burning from up to come down. You're talk to our people, then whoever so everyone either on our platform. I know you have interest in different areas of the political party there. That's okay. That's how it's supposed to be. But what I'm saying is that they don't say the truth. The truth is the truth. When somebody is going wrong in the country, we all say, no, this is not the right thing to do. This is that way we know that you get children in the hall and the child is doing, and then the man backing there, the father not backing there, then the child has ground to stand because one person behind them.
Thank you
but
so
if
much.
If the two people talk to that child will know that what they're doing is wrong.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, Mr. So.
All right, bye. Okay, Mr. Amos, Mr. George.
Yes, sir.
Okay, tell us, you are the last person since you are on the line.
George is not violent, but he support violence. He's not.
Everything you have to call regular because other than that, I'll be the other will be off. Just call the number directly instead of WhatsApp because somebody else there. Okay. Sorry, Pa George. Go ahead.
Yeah, the place I know was saying. Now, here's the thing here. You see, there's room for the speculation. There's coming to, I mean, look, what government that will not use our law. No. What they ran into the hall. Instead of working outside, the OM1, the security, the police are the OM1, the security. Seeing that, if Georgia is sometimes they will find the building down. No, we cannot continue to do like why you into the hall. To some people think the security risks. They all you propose the way into the building, where essentially you propose the barricade. And this issue of the I get that authority. Since 2018, so I have been deployed at the airport. Since 2013, that airport has been deployed there. I think when that thing happened to this guy, we saw the airport, the airport that I reported there. They are deployed at the airport. So what they did, they put the airport from the back because they have the crowd won the police. That's why the airport key because they are already the station there. That's why they call them.
Is that GOL position you're interpreting, or that just something for the Vanguard?
No. Since 2018, police are being deployed for the information I get. Since 2018.
For whom?
The army have been deployed there.
The army.
Since 2018, the army have been deployed at the airport.
So
when the army won the police, they're not going to call for back of the army king.
Okay.
What I'm seeing here is that if people will not want to abide by the law, if the police have one class here, just wait when you're president. But that's one you don't want to respect the law. And the very man like protect them. Don't say anything. Hey, you can't go to Washington there. If someone says they want to go and do something very man, you're window, what you will say?
Okay.
They'll come back, what the police? What did the law enforcement do? They will not talk about running the police station. These are still issues. And just know some people and play around here. That George is the Messiah for them. That if no job and no Nigeria, that's nonsense. It's complete nonsense. People have to learn about the rule. If you want to welcome the first day outside, you want to tell them.
Okay.
You can also who are in the terminal, who go about a normal business if you are interrupting those services. Then what is the constitution? What is the right of those people to move about?
All right. Thank you so much.
From him at the airport, George Weah was president. What did he do? That was a representative. What does he say about that?
Okay, Pa George, we gotta leave it there.
I mean, we just this for you can't also find this and that. Let me tell you.
So
you're not putting out that can bring war into Liberia. You're not going to try it. If you're a small try it now.
Where man? Huh?
Who?
Man.
Who my man?
Hey, my man. You want me?
1%.
Yeah, 1%. We are 1%, but something there's nobody that mandatory work for all.
You can't get that with something to it. Thank you so much. Thank you, George. Okay, we gotta go. All right, gentlemen, let's wrap it all here. Minute each. I mean, USA minute. I'm not talking about your laboratory. USA minute. Maybe Jerry, I'm not sure whether Jerry get a closing statement or something to, or they go to say military. So, Mr. Bob.
Yeah.
Okay, we try to work within the confines of the time this evening here. It's right on top of the door. We gotta go here. Two major things we're discussing here. Put it into context for us. Quickly, 1 minute.
Yes. One thing we have to understand is George Weah is not a president anymore, even though he's a political leader, but he's not a president anymore. He's not entitled to 21 gun salute when he's a go, when he comes from out of the country, he received 21 gun salute. So this, I think, we have to realize, even though he still have protected services for the country, he enjoys some certain immunity, but he's not going to have the same immunity he used to have when he was president. So let's get it back into our head. Second thing I want to address, when it comes to wickedness, okay, I would never kill a fly. So let's forget about that stuff. So, but I'm even going to acknowledge it. I'm not even going to dignify it. The second thing I want to talk about Josh, we are issue with learning or what is it? RI. I got serious concern about it. For you to deploy the armed forces of the Republic of Liberia, I think it needs serious investigation. I agree with the representative. Who are some of the security forces? Let them explain how, when, and who authorized for the armed forces of Liberia to be deployed. It's not just. It's. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Okay, unbelievable. Let's see what we'll get from
But
the.
anyway, I guess thank you. That's my closing argument. I beg to leave.
Okay,
I will see you tomorrow. If you can't come, I'll see you on Sunday.
definitely. Sunday is guaranteed. Tomorrow is off the radar. Collins, let's get your takeaway.
Yeah, so you know the guy who spoke, he spoke well actually. President, I still stand by my point. For the former finance minister.
Oh, did it fire? Okay.
Yeah, for anybody for that matter, President Weah should not be deceived also by his supporters because political something in Liberia is about strategy. Your popularity does not mean that you can win elections. You know, a person can be popular and still lose. And this going election should be an example for that. Winning election is about strategy, especially in Liberia. You have to have the strategy to win. President, we have struggled to win election in Liberia, even though he was popular. All right. When it comes to presidential elections in Liberia, it calls for strategy. President, we are 2011. 2011, President, we have got, I think, 9%, 9 or 10%. They can be running behind Cummings people. Go and check the result between he and Madam Sirleaf. In 2011, Madam Sirleaf got 90% of the votes in total. With all presidents, we have popularity. So you have to understand that no matter, look at when they were saying, oh, the country giant, look at the amount of people that got put on the street prior to the 2023 elections. And everybody felt that that President Weah had won. So I think they need to get from out of that bubble, thinking that election is about popularity. Because you can be popular and still lose the election. So the issue of the court, my advice would be to the president is to listen to the judge, to CNU, Chief Justice. I've been unfolding a lot of things here, but I'm not going to talk about it because I don't have the time. We have to listen to her because she is the third branch of government. They control the third branch of government, which is responsible, clothed and responsible to interpret the law. When they are not satisfied with anything that you have initiated in the country as a law, they have the right to call you and say, Honorable, they think you take for example, what if you wrote a budget like my senior brother said, you wrote a budget giving the education ministry $50 US. So because you signed that, because it was agreed upon by the both horses, and sent to the president, and the president signed it into law, does that mean that the judiciary have no right to call the president and say the $50 you get to educational ministry is not, you're not supposed to do it?
Okay.
So the responsibility, the sole responsibility, that is why the judiciary stand independent, because they are close with the authority to interpret the law. They can put a halt on anything, any law that the legislature and the president has signed. They can put a still order on it and call for interpretation. They have the right to do that, and that is my position.
Let's push
Yes. So
on it right away.
yeah, to put such charges on it, to not allow our country to be plunged into chaos. Because this woman is not saying she's going to shut the whole government down from the perspective of her having the power to do it. No. She's saying once we don't have the reputable criteria to work, definitely when the court shut down, the government shut down. That is what it is. Thank you.
All right. What a fascinating conversation. Mr. Sese Boya, Is the former president here, before you come to your closing, because that is profound statement coming from a former government official, David Fahad. Is a former president politically running a risk here, projecting himself like a presumptive, or he is in charge? He wants to keep in the eye. You know, the guy, politician, loves camera, and he one of those who likes to be in the face of the camera here. By keeping him in the face of the camera will serve as a reminder to keep his base alive. That's another way. That's I see it as a long strategy, because 2020 now we got a long way to go. Anything can happen. But you know what? I want to maintain my base, just how the Trump can do it. But is he running a risk here?
You know, far be it for me to give advice to seditionists, but let me try my best today to give them some advices. The other day I was asking here on this platform, where are the voices of Tiawan Gonglo and Alexander Bay Cummins and Moneyba Jr. And I even asked about CDC. CDC has to be very careful. Asking for you to continuously be in the news is a good thing for your political party to stay alive. But how are you in the news is the problem. If you are delivering, you are delivering policy statements and for or against, in addition to things that the government is doing, that is the best way to stay alive. But if your way of staying alive is this popularity thing, then I'm sad that the president or the former president will have to travel quite too often across. Every time the CDC is dying, got to go to the country to come back, and go to the place to meet. Then they sit down again, small again. When things getting right again, you go Guinea-Bissau. Then you come back again. Then a meeting. It will be. It is not sustainable. He missed a very good chance the last time. If this is about keeping his face in the news, when they had their lean back to fall back to lay back to not come back stuff that they had, which by the way, they have not even given us any holistic policy statement on what they achieved from there, what was their reflection or anything. He wasn't even there. He phoned it in. He phoned in to the lean back, to the move back, to the lay back, to never come back campaign. So if this is a political strategy, then they really haven't sat down to think it through critically. Having said that, though, I think my brother called and was talking about the Bible, you know, and the wicked are ruling. And when you ask him, for example, and then it fizzles away, and then my name get caught in it. I responded to Senayo's issue because Senayo spoke. If this had been a gossip from somewhere else, I was going to say I'll wait to hear from the Chief Justice. I refuse to speak to be like concrete and clear on what's happened at the airport because we don't know. Yeah, Mr. George saying that the AFL have been deployed over there all this time, and some people say that's not true. Wilton Ketter say there are 2 VIP lounges, and there are some people in the government that are saying that the new VIP lounge is only it's a presidential suite, and the old VIP lounge is available to the former president. I don't know what the security upgrade is, what the security update is, and how they determine that. I think the hearing from Sarfoco's staff will give us enough information to make that determination. That is the reason I said that. Now, having said on the issue of Justice Yo, Chief Justice Yo, and I will stand by this because it's constitutional, it's written, it's not by my feeling. Yeah, there are 3 branches of government. I feel that they should all be equal. They actually, in some capacity, are not. Article 60 of the Liberian Constitution, if you have the time, because I like to quote, I don't like to just, there are some things that we feel should be and something that are just. Article 60 of the Liberian Constitution talks about the payment, the salary of the vice president and the president shall be determined by the legislature. So even though we're all equal, the legislature determines their pay and it determines the president's pay. That is Article 60. Article 72 talks about the salaries and funding the judiciary. It says as long as it is not reduced, as long as it's not reduced, they have not violated the law. They can add 1 cent to your salary, to your stuff next year. As long as it was not reduced, they have not violated the law. That's the law. The last piece my brother keep talking about is the interpretation power of the judiciary. You cannot interpret something if somebody has not come to you with a complaint saying this thing is murky. That is why when things happen in the Republic, the Supreme Court don't just go around and say, oh, the other one that is wrong. We got to intervene. People got to go to them. So if they funded, to follow your example, if they give $50 to the education ministry, there has to be people, plaintiff, who have been aggrieved, who have been wronged by that will go to court for the Supreme Court to say that was wrong. So in order for you to interpret, there has to be plaintiff telling you that we don't understand what is happening here. Please interpret for all. You don't just play around how to call up that used to be on Central Street with quote Tamako and just pass around looking for cases. This is not
so they can interpret on behalf of themselves.
No, they can't. To interpret, it means that there has to be. That is why you cannot list anywhere in jurisprudence anywhere. Not even in America where we borrowed our system, or in Liberia where the Supreme Court just intervened without a plaintiff. It's never happened, because in order for you to interpret, it has to be, and you cannot be yourself a plaintiff to interpret. That is the law. That is the Constitution, and that is civics 101.
Okay, let's have the most ridiculous guy on this network, the liberal progressive. He sent his man Jerry back home. They are doing everything. So when are you sure you're having show tomorrow, Sissy?
Well, he get as a man. Me, I just agent.
Well, okay, this is quite profound. What is happening here? And I think you spoke about that. He needs to relax, and politician likes to get ahead of the game, because if you relax, I'm not sure whether the last time he learned a good lesson, and that's why he tries to perfect into reality to keep his political relevance in place. But again, they also have a downside. Anything that you put out there, because they are critical thinker, free-minded thinker, independent thinker like me, not like you guys. All we're here to be the fixer. So before we go here this evening, you are the one interrupting my program this evening, Samson too?
Nope.
Because your hands all over the place. I don't understand.
Yeah, because there's a little feedback keep coming.
Yeah,
but it's okay.
So far, you can say I can't live.
With my newfound
full disclosure,
status.
Let me disclose to them that since we started the audit, I've actually have been tapping your phone, CEO, because we want to make sure that we have all the data we need in order to conduct a fair and impartial audit. So all that interference you're hearing is because we are giving the authority. And Terry, you're hearing it because you're co-chair on the audit committee. That's why you have access to hear all that background.
Oh yeah, your former committee with Al. I'm gonna have an emergency meeting tonight. And to determine
we're going to have it with the board, and I allow you to have an emergency
meeting. I'm gonna have an emergency meeting tonight and see where we take this thing next. Okay, let's hear your last word. Deliver.
Oh, thank you, Mr. So. It's a Friday afternoon. Wonderful day. I'm very happy that we're having this discussion. We might not agree with each other, but the intent is clear. We want to make sure that Liberia gets to the better place that we all wish for it to be. So we're doing better. We're doing better. Mr. So, let me just say this in terms of with the former president. It doesn't matter how he's ruling the system that he was ruling and how he did his stuff, who stole what and what have you. The man was elected by Liberian people. He didn't come through the presidency from the back door. He knocked on the door, they opened the door. Now, I think the former president would do himself a good deal of favor. As Sissy correctly stated, you can be in the news. It will be important, and very important to all of us, that the opposition is in the news, up to date on stuff. But you have to be in the news for the right reason. Now, a few weeks ago,
can you read the breaking news that coming, please?
The what?
Can you read us breaking news coming from Al Jazeera?
Esther, my days have changed. I will not fight with anybody anymore. Whatever you say, that's fine. I'm a new celebrity now.
The man is closer to the president now, so you gotta be careful how we address him now.
Yeah, my celebrity status will not allow me to talk to but you know what. Anyhow, so on a very serious note,
Yeah, I get that CC maintain, yeah. my celebrities.
Oh my goodness.
Mr. Collins, you know, gossiping everywhere.
Oh, my man, would I just be passing you? Facebook is in the teeny place. Okay.
Sometimes all the people
I'm not in the Goa. I'm not in the Goa business. I'm not showing Goa.
Oh, you
Would I
were
just be passing?
so anyway, let me make my point, guys. So the president, the former president, remember a few weeks ago, Flanty Kofa, when they had the other meeting, he told sedition, our way to power will be through unity. The like of Jefferson Kochi and the Methodist wing of CDC, they are not good. Liberian will not look at those people and bring them back into power. It will not happen. The only people that are going to come back, if CDC wants to come back to power, first of all, CDC must be real with themselves.
Right.
And publicly come out to say what they did wrong. Spearheaded by President Weah. President Weah, let me say this again, very popular and still popular in the Republic of Liberia and all over the world. President Weah went to Israel and people were bringing their children from the houses to go see President Weah, not because he had the group political guru in Liberia, no, but because of what he did. Those people that were bringing their children to see used to watch him when he was playing. That popularity will never go away. But he must be able to understand how and where he engage. If he does it well, this government will be trembling before the president because they are quite aware that the election, the number was not one-sided. Liberia was split almost in the middle. But the president cannot be coming from Europe and come to Rawafi and expect people, all the grown-up boys then, like Samson told them, to go all over the place. And that's unacceptable.
So quickly here, I don't want to relegate this conversation here. Sissy, how can this guy rebuild himself, the former president? Because he made it crystal clear, I am still going to be in, and I think for that, he took a bold step because he wants to be, the age is still, in his favor. That's a good thing. The possibility of non-President Boyka seeking re-election is by chances, whatever it is. I don't think he wants to go that way. He wants to set the tone and then be reminded for history to recall him. But we do not know where the ANC guy, all of those people. So more or less, he's in Nigeria. But what does he need to do to rebrand himself so that confidence to be restored quickly at 30 seconds? I know it's a hard one.
I know, but if we're comparing both him and Mr. Cummings, I think he has an easier.
Not really comparing, but I mean, people trying to say I want to recontest, and if it's narrowed down to the two,
right? And between the both, I mean, like it's easier for him to rebrand President Weah because he's been CDC, and he has a core base. Even from 2005 to 2011, and I was just, when Terry pointed out, I wanted to look at he was right, but he has never dropped below a 10%, right? And that's a huge feat. What political party in the history of Liberia has been able to consistently, throughout 3 consistent elections, maintain a minimum of a 10% vote? I don't think it's happened except for the True Week Party, but they were not an opposition political party. And so the CDC, a lot of them hit them, have a core base. So I think what the president needs to be able to do is to change the diet he's giving them. Their usual it didn't work for them in the last election. I think there are people who have gone underground that he needs to bring back up, and there are people who are way up that he needs to put back down a little bit. I'm thinking of the lack of Samuel Twe. If we are arguing about budgetary allotment and budgets and stuff, and this going this way and this coming this way, and the Supreme Court coming in and complaining, this is a good place for a Samuel Twe who understands the budget, who presided over budget for 6 years, right? To be able to come in and educate the public and speak on what the CDC proper agenda would have done, could have done to not allow this. You have situations happening with the police, right? You bring in your police guys or people, and they don't have to be the same people, but they can write policy statements on what is happening with law enforcement, what is happening with the LDEA, what is going backward, where were we before, how can we move forward? I think those policy statements and those arguments will set CDC up to say, our men say this, you're not doing the right thing. And CDC has a very good base of people that can run with their material, right? If they just put it out there, they will run with it. But they have to put materials on there that the people can run with, that the rest of the Liberian population can buy, can eat, and it can stomach. And I think it's easier for the president to do that. He just has to have the authority to bring his people in the room and bring some people down. And I'm talking especially about my uncle, the former city mayor. They need to take the mic away from him a little bit. Bring and elevate other people who can actually intellectually speak to the issues.
How can you talk to your uncle like that?
I can't say the mic was small. I said it was
no problem in the long term to enter Lofa, because you talk to your uncle there and then you say they should take away the mic. But we can't go without looking on our feet. Just before coming on air, I've been kind of like surveying through the news outlet. We are hearing CNBC, Mike Carpenter is reporting as the president. I'm a moderate Democrat, by the way, to let you know. It's profound to see what is going on now. It's growing that happens, and others are reporting potentially before the week. And today's Friday, we don't know that the president most likely there will be a decision. We don't know how true it is, but it's profound to see what is unfolding within your party, the Democratic Party. Can we see this kind of thing happening at some point in time in our country?
The Democratic Party is still going to win the elections regardless of if we put a dare by there.
Exactly.
We're good.
I mean, President, I was advising the old man. I tell him, nobody pick up my phone. Don't call me. Don't talk to me. You want to unseat me? Let's meet at the
as it stands, it don't look good.
That's not how
again. Remember this in 2016. About this time, Hillary Clinton was leading in double digits. And what happened with the elections? Yeah. So let's all calm down. Statistics at this point, we just got to think.
Look at the French. Look at the French election.
And they just came from their convention. And if you look at the data, the pool, the jump was not as high as usually when political parties come from their convention. So you got to look at that within that framework. But I don't kind of discuss statistics. My point I'm saying here is that the Democratic Party will be good. With the Democratic or even with the
Party to be good. But we're seeing what is unfolding is unprecedented to see some of the top insiders that all the best.
You're conservative, you can't do no kind of thing. You're conservative, you can't do no kind of thing. That's what makes us the best. We debate among ourselves. We disagree among ourselves. But look at that. They put the man, they convicted him. Look how many people from the House of Representatives went to the courthouse wearing the same tie. That they are going to pull up the American people elect.
Now, what is he talking about?
You don't underestimate the Americans.
Guys, good night.
And that was why they rooted him out the last time.
But Mr. Su, I want to tell you that there are moves that President Bouka is making that I think he's going to run in 2029. He's moving towards the Islamic group.
That is in contradiction to what the Liberal is saying, that bringing in young people, and you telling me that you're going to run 2029?
Well, there's a very smart game the old man is playing, and when you look at it from the lens of the political, from the history of how politicians operate.
I don't want to ignore the prophetic wordings of the bishops. Already finished. So I don't want to go
but
there.
Look at the major step the man taking. The man is taking steps that will provoke the people to say that he the one wrong. Then the man going to the Islamic. Look, let me tell you, when politicians in Liberia start making these kind of games, I have to watch them with double glasses, because this is the second time the man is attending the mosque. This is the second time on Friday. And I'm listening to a lot of Islamic journalists now. They're changing their tongue.
Go to the mosque, but me, I will wait for halfway through his term. Halfway through his term is when I'll start seeing
exactly. I'm waiting to see how this relationship will be maintained with the Jeremiah Conwayne and all of those kind of people, and some other Unity Party. They have some real kind of people there too. I'm waiting to see if ultimately, if the current president decides to seek re-election, which of course so far, but for discussion purposes, or if he says he's stepping back, it would be interesting to see, by the grace of God, who will almost be around to see the kind of support, whether they will solidify their political support with Jeremiah Cohen. That's another side. Who is not an arrogance of the Unity Party? That's to say, maybe it will take Liberty Party drop out something to go there, which of course is not possible. All right, guys, thank you so much, and have a pleasant.
Thank you.
Good night.
Have a wonderful weekend, guys.
All right, thank you. Okay, guys, that does it this evening. To all our viewers, listeners, we say thank you so much for sharing your evening, your morning, your afternoon with us. And trust me, please follow us tomorrow. As part of our community commitment, we will be sharing the honoring and 76th birth anniversary of Mrs. Martha Dennis in the Bay State of Worcester, Massachusetts. All roads lead to Massachusetts. That's the traffic jam you're seeing right there. And Liberia Public Radio is being invited to bring you live happening from the Bay State of city of Worcester, just 35 minutes away from me. So we will be there tomorrow by God's willing to bring you to capture some of the fascinating happenings that will be unfolding there, as Mrs. Dennis observed, and will be honored on her 76th birth anniversary. I think this is the best thing to do, to honor people when they are alive. Let them eat their own cow hair. Now when they are dead, other people eat the bone and then they chewing your bone over as a dead person. Those who took this decision, it was wise, it was sagacious, it was timely. Let her feel the presence of the love of her people, her kids, and that's what we want to do. Dr. Jones, unfortunately, you were not here tonight. We saw the ridiculous part of the Liberal and his people and that of Jerry back on again, which is a clear indication. And let me just tell you now, the Liberal Sisse went back, understanding Jerry Bacon will be going on that show. Carter went there, so we have a lot to do here. We want to thank you so much. And you are following Lpr, you have a planned event. It doesn't matter where you live, as long as you are on planet Earth, we're in a part in the US. Let us know if there's a way we will figure it out. Any memorable event, we want to allow people to tell their story. We are not just on it. People have a lot of success story that they want to share with the rest of the world, and so we visualize, we bring visual conference of your events that will get your people to glue as if they were physically present, and we can do that. Let us know, family reunion, conventions, anniversary to graduations. We cover every event because we want you to tell your story. And you, only you can best tell your story. And that's exactly what we want to be seeing tomorrow. Mrs. Martha Dennis will be honored right in Massachusetts, Bay State, city of Worcester, just few couple of minutes away from me. We'll be there by God's willing tomorrow. Until then, guys, have a pleasant evening, and be safe. We wish you the best the weekend. So, folks, thank you so much. Join us in subsequent broadcasts. Until then, I am your host, Alfonso Zianso. Bye-bye.